Okay, so good afternoon. Sorry, good morning. Good morning to all. Okay. Uh, in today's lecture, we are going to learn our new, or you can say, the next unconventional machining, that is the ultrasonic machining process. Okay. And in the last lecture, we have covered two unconventional machining, that is the electrical discharge machining and then wire electrical discharge machining, WEDM. Okay. See here. In that last lecture, we have covered the electrical discharge machining, and then also we have covered that is the wire cut electrical discharge machining. Okay, the two method we have completed. Okay, so first up on I will revise some point related to that EDM, and then we are going to start that ultrasonic machining process. Okay, now say what is the working principle of that electrical discharge machining? Again, it having very simple working principle is there on that it will work. Okay, simple. What is the working principle of that electrical discharge machining? When we are giving the supply, okay, when we are giving the supply, that time is here in between the gap of tool and workpiece, a spark is generated. Okay, and due to that spark, or when this spark is come in contact with this dielectrical fluid, that time this dielectrical fluid, it will be ionized and it will start to flow the current. Okay, then when the current is start to flow through this dielectrical fluid, and because of that current, a large amount of temperature is generated in between this gap. Okay, this gap is called as the spark gap. Okay, the whatever gap, okay, the whatever gap is there in between the tool and workpiece, that gap is called as the spark gap. And here at this gap, a large amount of temperature is generated, and the range of that temperature, it will be 10,000 to 12,000 degrees Celsius. That much amount of temperature is generated here, and because of that temperature, okay, so because of that temperature, what will happen? Because of that temperature, this metal is going to melt, and due to that, the material is removed from that workpiece. Okay, this is the simple principle on that electrical discharge machining is work. Okay, then again same process or same application, sorry, same principle is used in this wire cut electrical discharge machining, but instead of that, here in that electrical discharge machining, we are using here one tool. Okay, but here as a tool we are using the wire. Okay, that diameter of that wire, it will be 0.3 mm. Okay, wire we are using, and that wire, it may be made up from the copper, and that wire, it will be used as the your tool. Okay, again we are giving the DC supply to that wire and workpiece, and also we are using here dielectrical fluid. Okay, that electrical discharge machining, in that we are using the kerosene as the dielectrical fluid, and in this wire electrical discharge machining, we are using the water as a distilled water as a dielectrical fluid. When we are supplying the dielectrical fluid in this contact, that time what will happen? Again, spark is generated. Then spark is come in contact with dielectrical fluid. Again, that dielectric fluid is going to ionized, and also it will flow the current. And due to that current, a large amount of temperature is generated in the spark gap. And due to that temperature, that metal is going to melt, and it will remove the metal from the workpiece. This is the simple principle on that both the machining is going to work. Okay. Now, now we are going to discuss the next third type of machining process is the ultrasonic machining process. Okay, also it is the one of the unconventional machining process, that is the ultrasonic machining process. Okay, now see here, what is the working principle of that ultrasonic machining process? Simply first up on you have to remember, this ultrasonic machining process is generally used to perform the machining on the brittle material. Okay, or those material were having very hard, or it is the brittle material, for example glass, okay, ceramic, like this. Okay, on such type of the material, okay, on the such type of the material to perform the machining operation, that ultrasonic machining process is used. Okay, that point you have to remember, it is used to perform the machining operation on the brittle material. What are that brittle materials? We are knowing that. Okay, What is meant by that brittle material? Brittle material is nothing but it having high compressive strength and less tensile strength. And the example of that is glass or ceramic. Okay, for such type of the material to perform the machining on such type of the material, we can use the ultrasonic machining process. And also, in short, it is called as the USM, ultrasonic machining process. Okay. Now, see here, what is the working principle of that ultrasonic machining process? Now, I will discuss here. Okay, what is the working principle here? In that ultrasonic machining process, we are going to use frequency, ultrasonic frequency we are using. Okay, we are using the ultrasonic frequency. Okay, and also we are using the abrasive slurry. Okay, what is meant by the abrasive slurry? Okay, what is meant by that abrasive slurry? It is the mixture of abrasive particle. It is the mixture of abrasive particle with water. Abrasive particle with water, it is called as the abrasive slurry. Okay, now simple here, same. This is the setup of the ultrasonic machining. Okay, now see, first of all we will see the construction, which parts are present in the setup of that ultrasonic machining. Then we will going to discuss the its working principle. Okay, now see, first up on the construction, it consists of one tank. See here, this is the one tank is there, and okay, inside that tank, there will be one fixture is there. See, this is the red color is the fixture, and on that fixture, okay, on that fixture there will be the workpiece is mounted. Okay, now see here, also we are using here the nozzle. Okay, what is the function of nozzle? The function of that nozzle is to inject the slurry, abrasive slurry. Okay, already I have explained here what is meant by the abrasive slurry, or when we can call it is the abrasive slurry. Abrasive slurry is nothing but it is the mixture of abrasive particle plus water. That abrasive particle and water, it is called as the abrasive slurry, and that abrasive slurry is injected by this nozzle. Okay, for this purpose we are using the nozzle inside this setup. Again, it consists of transducer. See, this is the transducer is there, and here the magnetostructive type of transducer we are using in this setup. Okay, this is the transducer is here. Again, in this setup we are using here tool horn. See, this is the tool horn is there, and that tool horn it is connected to this transducer, and the another end of this tool horn it is connected to the tool holder. What is the function of the tool holder? Function of that tool holder is to hold the tool, and at the end of this tool holder there will be the tool is there. Here in this ultrasonic machining process we are using the soft tool. Okay, and whatever shape is required, okay, whatever type of, okay, which type of shape is required on that workpiece, such type of shape tool we are using. Okay, means what is the shape of that tool, okay, the same shape we can generate on the workpiece. Okay, now the next point is here we are using abrasive slurry as, okay, the abrasive slurries are using like this. We can use the aluminum oxide as the abrasive material. Okay, which type of abrasive material we are using in this process here? Aluminum oxide we are using the abrasive particle. Then also we are using the silicon carbide. Okay, silicon carbide is there. Then also we are using the boron carbide as the abrasive particle. Then also we are using the diamond dust. Okay, diamond dust. But out of that all the abrasive particle, the diamond dust is very costly. Okay, when this particle of this oxide, aluminum oxide, the particle of this silicon oxide is combined with the water, that time it is called as the abrasive slurry. Okay, the such type of the abrasive particle we are using in the ultrasonic machining. That is the aluminum oxide, silicon carbide, boron carbide, diamond dust. These are the abrasive particles. And when this abrasive particle is combined with the water, that time it is called as the slurry. And that slurry we are using in a ultrasonic machining process. Now say, again, in this setup it consists of, the main components are there. It consists of oscillator and amplifier here. Also we are using here isolator and amplifier, or also we can call it as a generator. Isolator and amplifier, this setup is also called as the generator. Then also we are using here transducer. Then we will see here what is the function of that ultrasonic, oscillator and amplifier. Okay, and then we will see the construction, working. First upon, try to understand the meaning of component. Here we are using the generator, or also we can call the oscillator and amplifier. We call it is the oscillator and amplifier. Then what is the function of that oscillator and amplifier? Okay, now see here, the function of that oscillator and amplifier is to convert the low frequency energy, that electrical energy whose frequency is low, that low frequency electrical energy is converted into the high frequency electrical energy. Okay, low frequency electrical energy is converted into the high frequency electrical energy. High frequency electrical energy. This is the function of your oscillator and amplifier. Okay, first upon that oscillator and amplifier, it will convert the electrical energy into the low frequency electrical energy. The low frequency electrical energy is converted into the high frequency electrical energy. Then this electrical energy, okay, then this electrical energy is given to the transducer. This is the winding of transducer. Then what is the function of the transducer? What is the function of the transducer? The function of this transducer is to convert the electrical energy, to convert that high frequency electrical energy into the mechanical vibration, Okay, this is the function of your transducer. That point you have to remember only. Okay, now we will discuss its working. Okay, now you have understood the function of each component. Here, once again, I will repeat, in that ultrasonic machining, it consists of the generator, or also we can call it the oscillator and amplifier. The function of that oscillator and amplifier is to convert the low frequency electrical energy into the high frequency of electrical energy. Then that high electrical frequency is given to the transducer. Then that transducer, it will convert the electrical energy, it will convert the electrical energy into the mechanical energy. What is the function of that transducer? It converts the electrical energy into the mechanical vibration. Okay, mechanical vibration. Okay, then this mechanical vibration, now whatever vibration is generated that transducer, that mechanical vibration is given to this tool horn. Okay, then what is the function of that tool horn? That tool horn, it will concentrate that vibration. Okay, see here, such type of the shape is there to that tool horn. That tool horn, it will concentrate your vibration, and that vibration is given to the tool holder. Okay, then that when that tool horn is vibrate and it concentrate the vibration, that this vibration is given to the tool holder, so that this tool holder is also vibrate, and from the tool holder that vibration is given to the tool. See, this is the tool. Okay, the vibration from the tool horn, it is concentrate, and then it is given to the tool holder. From the tool holder, that vibration is given, that mechanical vibration is given to the tool, and now your tool is vibrate like this. Okay, now your tool is vibrate like this. Your tool is vibrate in all the direction like this. Okay, when your tool is vibrate, that time we are injecting the abrasive slurry. Okay, that time we are using the abrasive slurry with high pressure. Okay, due to this high vibration of your tool, and when we are supplying, or when we are injecting the high pressure slurry, that slurry, it will hammer on your workpiece due to this vibration. Okay, here in between this tool and in between this workpiece, okay, in between this tool and in between this workpiece, we are injecting the slurry, abrasive slurry, and this your tool is vibrated. Okay, your tool is vibrated like this, and due to this vibration and due to this slurry, that slurry, it will hammer on your workpiece. That abrasive slurry, that abrasive particle. Okay, abrasive, inside that abrasive slurry, there is the abrasive particles are there, small abrasive particles are there, and that abrasive particle, it will be strike on your workpiece, means it is hammering on your workpiece due to your high frequency or due to your high vibration. Okay, due to the high vibration, this abrasive particle, it will hammer on your workpiece, and due to this hammering process, the small amount of material, okay, small amount of the material, it will remove from the workpiece. Okay, in this fashion, the machining process is carried out with the help of the ultrasonic machining. Okay, simple. Okay, it is understood. Okay, now see here once again I will repeat. In that ultrasonic machining process, we are using the ultrasonic frequency. Simple. Now see here, first upon, okay, first upon that oscillator, first upon that oscillator and amplifier, it will convert the low frequency electrical energy into the high frequency electrical energy. Then this high frequency electrical energy, it is given to the transducer. Then what is the function of the transducer? That transducer, it will convert the high frequency current into the mechanical vibration. Okay, then this mechanical vibration is given to the tool horn. That tool horn, it will be concentrate that mechanical vibration, and then this mechanical vibration is given to the tool holder, and from the tool holder, that vibration is given to the tool. At the same time, when your tool is vibrate in all the direction, that time, okay, at the same time, that nozzle, it will inject the abrasive slurry in between the gap of your workpiece and tool. Okay, and that slurry, okay, we are knowing that in that slurry, it consists of abrasive particles are there, and due to the vibration of your tool, that abrasive particle, it will be strike or it will be hammer on your workpiece, and due to that hammering process and due to that vibration, it will remove the small amount of the metal from your workpiece. Okay, in this fashion, your ultrasonic machining is work. Now see here, that high frequency current, it is given to the transducer. Then this transducer, it will convert the current or that electrical energy into the vibration. This vibration is given to the tool holder. Here, this tool horn, it will concentrate all the vibration, and then that vibration is given to the tool holder, and from the tool holder, that vibration is given to the tool, and that when your tool is vibrating all the direction, that time, at the same time, this nozzle, it will inject the high pressure abrasive slurry, and when that abrasive slurry is come in contact or it is injected in the gap of tool and workpiece, that time, due to this vibration, that abrasive particles are present in that abrasive slurry. That abrasive particle, it will be strike on your workpiece. Okay, it will hammer on your workpiece, and due to that hammering process and due to that vibration, that abrasive particle, it will remove the small amount of the metal from the workpiece. Okay, in this fashion, your ultrasonic machining process is work. Okay, understood? Yes, anybody having any problem, please tell me. Yes,
No problem, sir.
No problem.
okay, it
sir.
is understood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now see,
Yes,
in that
sir.
ultrasonic machining, okay, in that ultrasonic machining, the tool is made to vibrate at the ultrasonic frequency. And what is the range of that frequency? We are using the 20 to 30 hertz frequency, and with abrasive slurry. Okay, and the vibration of the tool, the vibration of your tool and slurry remove the material in the form of small grains, means small amount of grains it will remove from your workpiece. Okay, again, we are knowing that it consists of the oscillator and the transducer to convert the electrical energy of the low frequency to the high frequency, and also it consists of the transducer. The function of that transducer is to convert the electrical energy into the mechanical vibration. Okay, simple. This is the ultrasonic machining process, and this is the setup. Okay, now what is the advantages of that ultrasonic machining? Again, with the help of the ultrasonic machining, we can machine the very hard material, and generally that ultrasonic machining process is used to remove the metal from the brittle material. It is used for the machining of the brittle metal, for example glass, for example ceramic. Okay, here that ultrasonic machining process we can use for conductive or non-conductive material. Okay, for both the material we can use this process. Okay, again it is noise less process, and in this ultrasonic machining process the heat is not generated. Okay, the heat or we can say the temperature is not generated, and because of that heat and temperature, we are knowing that when the high amount of temperature is generated, due to that temperature there may be chances of changing the physical property of your workpiece. Okay, this problem is not come in this ultrasonic machining, because in the ultrasonic machining process we are not generating, or no, we are not creating the temperature. Okay, no heat is generated, no temperature is generated, so that there is no question of changing the phase of your workpiece. Okay, these are the simple advantages. Okay, what are the main advantages? This ultrasonic machining process we can use for the both conductive and non-conductive material, and in that ultrasonic machining we are not generating the heat, so that the physical property of your workpiece is not going to change. Okay, this is the main advantages. Then what are the disadvantages of that ultrasonic machining process? Here in that ultrasonic machining process, the abrasive slurry, it is required to change periodically. Okay, we have to, it is necessary to replace that abrasive slurry at some period of time. Then again the metal removing rate, okay, the metal removal rate in that ultrasonic machining process is low. Okay, and again that initial cost of equipment, the initial cost of equipment and tooling is costly, and also power consumption is also high. And what is the application of that ultrasonic machining process? Generally that ultrasonic machining process is used to perform the machining operation on the brittle material, that is the to perform the internal threading on the brittle material, and that is the on a ceramic and glasses. Okay, this is about the ultrasonic machining process. Okay, understood. Now here the next method, that is the unconventional method, is the electrochemical machining process. Electrochemical. Now see the, what is meant by the electro? Electro means we are using the current. Then chemicals means again where means here see the meaning, means we are using the electrical energy plus we are using the chemical energy, and also with the help of that electrical energy and chemical energy we are removing the material from the workpiece. That is the meaning of that electrochemical machining. Okay, if you are understood this ultrasonic machining, then I will move toward the next machining. Now it is understood. Everybody please tell me it is understood.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
now see the next process is the electrochemical machining, and that electrochemical machining we are using the electrical energy plus chemical energy, and with the help of that combination of both the energy we are removing the material from the workpiece. Now see here that electrochemical machining process, it will be work on the Faraday's law of electrolysis. It will work on the Faraday's law of electrolysis. Now again the next point is you have to remember that electrochemical machining process is work on the principle of your Faraday's law of electrolysis. Again, the electrochemical machining is the reversal process of electroplating. Now I will explain here what is meant by the electroplating, or what is meant by the electrochemical machining. Now see here, just 1 minute. Okay, what is meant by the electroplating? Okay, what is meant by the electroplating? I have told you that electrochemical machining process is reversal of electroplating. So that first of all we should know the what is meant by the electroplating. Once you have to understood the electroplating, then we will easily understood the electrochemical process. Now see here, I will explain here what is meant by the electroplating. Simple. In that electroplating, what will happen? Suppose this is the tool is here. It is, we can call it is the cathode. It is the cathode, and suppose this is the workpiece. Okay, it is the anode. Okay, and in between that cathode, and in between that anode, in between that we are using the electrolyte. Okay, we are using the electrolyte. Okay, electrolyte. Okay, now here I am explaining the electroplating. What is meant by the electroplating? In that electroplating, we are adding the material. We are adding the material on the workpiece. Okay, we are adding the material on the workpiece. We are adding the material on a workpiece in the electroplating. But in that electrochemical machining, we are removing the material from the workpiece. We are removing the material. You have to remember. In the electrochemical machining process, we are removing the material from the workpiece, and the electroplating, we are adding the material on the workpiece. Simple. Now see, this is the electroplating process. Suppose this is the tool is there, we can call it is the cathode. Suppose this is the workpiece, it is the anode. Okay. Here in the electroplating, what will happen? Sorry, just 1 minute. Okay. See what will happen in that electroplating. Okay, in that electroplating, suppose this is the anode is there. Okay, and here cathode is there. Okay, in that electroplating, we are removing the material from the cathode. Okay, sorry, we are removing the material from the anode and it is act on the cathode. Okay, we are removing the material from the anode, and whatever material is removed from that anode, it is given to the cathode. Okay, this is the electroplating. Okay, means here your workpiece is there. Suppose here your workpiece is there, and suppose here your tool is there. From the tool, we are removing the material, and that whatever material is removed, that material we are adding on the workpiece. This is called as the electroplating. But in the electrochemical machining, suppose this is the cathode, this is the, we can call it is the tool. This is the electrolyte is there. We are using the electrolyte in between the cathode and anode. Suppose this is the anode, this is the workpiece. Okay, here in that electrochemical machining, what will happen? The material is removed from the workpiece, and it is given to the, that whatever material is removed, that material is given to the electrolyte, and that material or that particle, it will combine with this electrolyte, and again it will be carried out. Okay, and whatever material is removed in this electrochemical machining, that material is not going to add on your tool. It is not going to add on your tool. It is going to carry it out. It is going to carry it out. This is the simple difference. In the electroplating, we are directly adding the material. We are directly adding the material on your workpiece, and but in that electrochemical machining process, we are removing the material from the workpiece, and whatever that material is removed, that material is going to act, or that material is going to combine with your electrolyte, and with the electrolyte it is going to carry it out. Okay, it is going to remove it. It is not going to given to that tool. Okay, this is the basic difference. Now see here that electrochemical machining process. Again, in that electrochemical machining process, as the electrolyte, okay, as a electrolyte, we are going to use the sodium chloride. Also, we can use the sodium nitride, or also we can use the sodium sulfate. Okay, out of that, we can use one of them as the electrolyte. Again, in that electrochemical machining process, we are using the DC supply. And what is the range? At 3 to 300 volt, that much amount of DC supply we are using here. Again, we are using the tool. Okay, we are using the tool in that electrochemical machining. That tool should have following properties. That tool should have good thermal conductivity. Okay, again that tool have good electrical conductivity, and the material of that tool, it will be stainless steel, copper, or brass. Okay, such type of the tool we have to use in that electrochemical machining process, because that tool should be good thermal conductivity. That tool should be good electrical conductivity. And what is the material of that tool? That material of the tool, it will be stainless steel, copper, or brasses. Such type of the material we can use for making the tool in that electrochemical machining. Again, see here the working principle. See, this is the basic introduction. You have to remember that electrochemical machining process is work on the Faraday's law of electrolysis. Again, that electrochemical machining is the reversal process of your electroplating, because in the electroplating we are adding the material, and in the electrochemical machining process we are removing the material. So that I have right here, that is the reversal process. Again, that electrochemical machining process, as the electrolyte we are using the sodium chloride. we are using the sodium nitride or sodium sulfide. In electrochemical machining, again we are using the DC power supply, and the range of that DC power supply, it will be like this. And whatever tool we are using that electrochemical machining, that tool should have good thermal conductivity. Again, that tool should have good electrical conductivity, and the material of that tool, it will be stainless steel or copper or brasses. Okay, these are the basic introduction regarding to that electrochemical machining process. Now see the setup for this electrochemical machining process. Okay, first up on I will explain here construction. Again, it consists of one tank. So this is the tank is there, and inside this tank, this is the workpiece. Okay, and that workpiece is mounted on your fixture. Proper fixture or proper hoists are used for fixing this workpiece. Okay, so this is the tank. Inside this tank, this is the workpiece. Again, inside this tank, we are pouring the. So this is the electrolyte. Your whatever we are observing, this is the electrolyte. Okay. Again, it consists of the tool. This is the tool, and the material of that tool, it will be stainless steel, copper, or okay, and that tool, it will be good conductive for the thermal and electricity also. Again, we are using here. This is the DC supply. See, this is the DC supply. Okay, again, in that electrochemical machining, we are using the servo motor. The function of that servo motor is to give the feed mechanism to that tool. For providing the feeding mechanism to that tool, we are using the servo motor. Okay, so this is the tool holder. Inside the tool holder, we are hold just tool. Okay, here, this is the another tank is there. Okay, in that tank, we are contain here electrolyte is here. Okay, already I have told here, we can use the sodium chloride, we can use the sodium hydride. Okay, out sodium sulfide as the electrolyte. Okay, this is the electrolyte is present inside this tank. Okay, here we are using the pump. With the help of that pump, we are suck the electrolyte from the lower level, and again it is given to the, or it is forwarded here. Again, it consists of the filter. The function of that filter is to remove the whatever particles are removed from that workpiece. That particles are combined with your electrolyte, and from that electrolyte, that particle is going to remove with the help of this filter, and that fresh electrolyte. Okay, then fresh electrolyte is again, it is given to that here. Okay, so this is the tool, and inside that tool here, one hollow portion is there. Okay, hollow hole is there, and that through that hole, okay, through that hole, we are injecting the this electrolyte. Okay, here in between the tool, see, this is the tool and this is the workpiece, and in between the tool and workpiece, we have maintained here small gap. Okay, that gap, it will be 0.5 mm. Okay, that 0.5 mm gap we have maintained here. Okay, now say what is the working principle of that electrochemical machining. See, this is the basic construction. Okay, when here again, see here, this is the DC power supply. The positive terminal of your battery, it is connected to the workpiece, so that workpiece, it will act as the anode, and the negative terminal of your battery, it is connected to the tool, and so that we can say the tool, it will act as the cathode. Okay, now see the working. When we are giving the supply, that time what will happen? When we are giving the supply to that tool and workpiece, that time, okay, when we are giving the supply, that time what will happen? That tool, it will be emit the negative ions. Okay, that tool, it will be emit the negative ions, and that workpiece, it will be emit the positive ions. Okay, it will emit the positive ions. Means when we are giving the supply, that time this tool, it will produce, or we can say emit the negative ions. It will emit the negative ions. The negative ions coming from the tool, and the positive ions coming from the workpiece. Okay, and we are knowing that this positive ions, it will try to attract toward the negative ion, and that negative ion is going to try to attract toward the positive ions. And due to that, okay, due to this attraction of your positive ion and negative ion, here in this gap, what will happen? The current, it will be generated. The current, it will generate, and it will remove the material. Simple. Okay, now see here, in this method, the negative ions, it is coming from the tool. Okay, and the positive ions, it is coming from the workpiece. Okay, what will happen? Here the negative charge, or negative charge, what will happen? That negative charge energy, the energy of your negative charge, it will remove the material. It will remove the material from the workpiece, and the and the positive charge ions, okay, the positive charge ions, it will carried out, it will carried out with your electrolyte. Means the positive ions, it does not attract toward the tool, or it does not added, we can say that positive ions, the positive ions, it will not add on your workpiece. If that positive ion it will add on your tool, that time it will become electroplating. Simple. Okay, that point you have to remember. In this electrochemical machining process, the material is removed by the energy of negative charge. The whatever that negative ions are generated, or whatever that negative ions are coming from that tool, with the help of that negative ions only the material is removed. Okay, and the positive ions, whatever the positive ions are generated from this workpiece, that positive ions, it will carried out this electrolyte in outside. Okay, means that positive ions, it does not combine with the tool, or it does not attack on the tools. Okay, this is the electrochemical machining. So once again I will repeat, when that power supply is making the on, that time what will happen, the negative ions from the tool, it is emit, and the positive ions from the workpiece, it is also emit, and that negative ions, it will try to attract to the positive ions, and that positive ions, it is attract to the negative ions, and during that the current is generate, or current it will be flow, and it will remove the material, and the material is removed with the help of the energy of the negative charge only. That point you have to remember. The material is removed from the workpiece with the help of only negative charge, the energy of negative charge. Okay, the energy of negative charge, it will remove the material from the workpiece, and the positive charge energy, or we can say the positive charge ions, that positive charge ions, it will come out with that electrolyte. Now see here, from this side we are injecting the electrolyte, and from this side we are taking this electrolyte. Okay, and in this electrolyte, with the help of this electrolyte, we are also carrying out this positive ions. Means that positive ions does not remove the material. Okay, only the negative charge ions energy, it will remove the material. Okay, in this fashion that electrochemical machining is going to work. Simple. Okay, understood? Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the method. So I will summarize the point here. Please try to understand. In that ultrasonic machining process, what will happen in that ultrasonic machining process, we are using, or we have to generate the vibrations. Then how we can generate the vibration? Simple. Okay, first of all, we are giving the electrical energy. Okay, the electrical energy is given to the transducer. That transducer, it will convert the electrical energy into the mechanical vibration. Then this mechanical vibration is given to the tool horn. That tool horn, it will be concentrate all the mechanical vibration. Okay, at this point, and this mechanical vibration is given to the tool holder. From the tool holder, again this mechanical vibration is given to the tool, and because of that your tool is going to start to vibrate. Okay, when your tool is vibrating, that same time we are injecting the abrasive slurry, and when we are injecting the abrasive slurry, with the help of this abrasive slurry and with the help of this vibration, that particle of abrasive slurry, it will hammer on your workpiece and the material is removed. Simple. In this fashion your ultrasonic machining process is work. Okay, what is the advantages in that ultrasonic machining process? We are not generating the heat, so that there is no question of changing the physical property of your workpiece again. And this ultrasonic machining process also we can use, or it is applicable for both type of material. Means it is applicable for the conductive as well as non-conductive material also. Okay, and what is the application? Simple, that ultrasonic machining process we can generally use for making the machining operation, or to perform the machining operation on brittle and hard material. Okay, and what is the range of the frequency we are using here? We can use here 20 to 30 hertz frequency. Okay, then electrochemical machining. Simple, that electrochemical machining process is working on the electrolysis laws of Faraday's law of electrolysis. Again, that electrochemical machining process. In that electrochemical machining process, we are using the combination of electrical energy as well as the chemical energy, and with the help of this both the energy, we are removing the metal from the workpiece. And the electrochemical machining process is the reversal process of electroplating, because in the electroplating process we are adding the material on your workpiece, but in that electrochemical machining process we are removing the material from the workpiece. Okay, and what is the electrolyte we are using that electrochemical machining? We are using the sodium chloride as the electrolyte. Also we can use the sodium nitride, sodium sulfide as the electrolyte. Also again in that electrochemical machining process we are using the DC supply as a power, and the whatever tool we are using in that electrochemical machining, that tool it will made up from the stainless steel, copper or brass, and that tool should have good thermal conductivity and good electric conductivity. Okay, and here this is the important point, that point you have to remember. In the electrochemical machining process, the material is removed by negative charge energy. Okay, the material is removed by the negative charge of energy, and that negative charge, also we can say it is the negative ions, and that negative ions it will emitted by the your tool. This is the tool, and that tool it will be emit the negative ions when we are giving the supply. Okay, and the positive charge ions, okay, the positive charge ions are carried out with the electron. Okay, and here also we are knowing that this workpiece, when where that power supply is made on that time, this workpiece, that workpiece it will emit the positive ions. Okay, it will emit the positive ions, and due to this attraction between that negative and positive, here the current is generated and the metal is removed, and during that this positive ions it does not attacks on or add on your tool. Instead of that, these positive ions it will be come out with this electrolyte. Okay, with this electrolyte, so that here we are adding here filter. With the help of that filter, that particle of your material it will remove. Okay, simple. This is the electrochemical machining process. Understood? Yes. Yes, please give the reply. Any doubt, any problem? Yes, anybody?
Yes, sir.
So thank you. So just 1 minute. I will show you the animation of that ultrasonic machining process. Let's try to understand. See, this is the nozzle. It will inject this abrasive particle. Okay, this is the tool, and that tool we want to vibrate. Okay. Okay. Now this is the abrasive particles. This is the workpiece. Abrasive slurry. We can call it the abrasive slurry. This is the workpiece, and that workpiece it is fabric. It is fabric. See, it is vibrating, and it is that nozzle. It is injecting the abrasive slurry, and this is the machined surface. In this fashion, we are performing the machining operation. Now, see, this is the setup or element of the ultrasonic machining. Now see, this is the power is given. Now here, this is the abrasive slurry, and that abrasive slurry is injected here with the help of this nozzle. This is the abrasive slurry. Okay. Due to this vibration of your tool and due to this slurry, the metal is removed. This is the machined surface. Okay. Okay. So thank you.